Welcome to our deep dive today. We're going to be talking about what makes a woman truly inspirational,
Okay.
but we're going a little bit beyond just good vibes and feel good stuff. We're going to talk about concrete qualities that
Okay.
anyone can use to lead more effectively and really make an impact.
I like it.
So the source material that we're using today is this article from PwC called Inspirational Women: How to Recognize One and How to Be One.
Sounds good.
Just reading the title, I was thinking about the incredible women in my own life who have kind of shaped the way I think
Right.
and who I am. And, my high school English teacher, Miss Thompson, was one of those people for me.
Okay.
She really had this amazing way of pushing us to think critically,
I see.
but it wasn't just about challenging us.
Yeah.
It was the way she believed in each of us,
Uh-huh.
even when we doubted ourselves.
Right.
I'm curious, have you ever had someone like that in your life?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I think those figures who kind of push you to think a little bit differently or see things
Yeah.
from a different perspective
Yeah.
and challenge you, they leave a lasting impact. And that's actually exactly what we're going to be exploring today.
Awesome.
So this article highlights 5 qualities that were identified by Joy Marini from
Oops.
Johnson & Johnson.
Okay.
And these aren't just about being nice. They're about these actionable strategies for leadership
Right.
and personal growth.
I love that. Okay, so let's unpack this. The first quality the article talks about is purpose.
Okay.
And it really defines it as finding that deeper meaning behind the work that you do.
Yeah.
So not just what you do,
Right.
but like the why behind it.
The why behind it.
Yeah.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
that why is incredibly powerful. It's almost like the engine that drives everything that you do.
Okay.
So when you're really clear on your purpose, it fuels your motivation.
Yeah.
And it gives you this sense of direction.
Yeah.
It allows you to show up authentically. And people can really feel that.
Yeah.
Think about it. Would you rather follow someone who's just going through the motions?
Yeah.
Or someone who's really genuinely passionate about what they're doing?
Yeah. Definitely someone who's passionate. And the article uses this phrase, accomplish that purpose with purpose.
Right.
It's like taking it to the next level.
Yeah.
And really putting your whole heart into it. But that makes me wonder, how do we even go about finding our purpose?
Right.
Like, is it something we're born with?
Uh-huh.
Or can we discover it along the way?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I think the article doesn't quite give us like a step-by-step guide.
Right.
But what's interesting is it might be a little bit of both.
Mm.
We might have these kind of inherent inclinations or passions.
Yeah.
But discovering our purpose often involves this exploration,
Mm-hmm.
this reflection, and even trial and error.
Oh, interesting.
So sometimes it's about connecting the dots between our experiences,
Yeah.
our values, and what really truly brings us joy.
That makes sense.
Think about this. What activities make you lose track of time?
Right.
Where do you feel most alive and engaged?
Mm-hmm.
Those might be clues pointing you towards your purpose.
Wow, that's really insightful. It's not just about like some grand life-altering mission. It could just be like the things you do every day that you find
Absolutely.
that spark in.
Yeah.
And speaking of feeling alive, the next quality the article highlights is belief.
Okay.
And it's not just believing in your purpose, but believing in your ability to achieve it.
Right. And this belief is like the fuel that keeps us going when we hit those roadblocks.
Mm.
It's so closely tied to resilience
Yeah.
and self-confidence. Think of someone like Marie Curie. She was making these groundbreaking scientific discoveries
Right.
in a time when women in science faced so much prejudice and this lack of support.
Wow, talk about overcoming obstacles.
Exactly.
Her story really underscores the power of belief. But
Mhm.
how do we cultivate that kind of unwavering belief, especially when we're faced with setbacks or self-doubt?
Right. It's not always easy,
Yeah.
but I think it often starts with recognizing
Yeah.
and acknowledging our strengths.
Uh-huh.
We all have these unique talents and abilities,
Right.
but sometimes we get so caught up in our perceived weaknesses
Yeah.
that we kind of forget what we're good at.
That's true.
And sometimes it's about reframing our failures as these learning opportunities.
Okay.
So instead of viewing setbacks as reasons to give up, we can view them as this valuable feedback
Mm-hmm.
that helps us grow
Yeah.
and improve.
Yeah.
It's about shifting our perspective
Right.
and embracing this growth mindset.
Okay. That's such an interesting perspective, turning those I can't moments
Yeah.
into I can learn how to moments.
Yes, exactly.
Now, the third quality the article emphasizes is empathy.
Okay,
And it talks about understanding and connecting with the feelings and perspectives of others.
right. Empathy is crucial for building trust and fostering these genuine connections.
Yeah.
When you demonstrate empathy, you're showing people that you care about them,
Uh-huh.
that you value their experiences.
Mm.
And this creates this sense of psychological safety
Okay.
that makes people want to work with you,
Yeah.
collaborate with you,
Right.
and follow your lead.
That makes sense. I can see how that would make someone a more effective leader, especially in today's world where collaboration and teamwork are so important. But I think what's so fascinating about empathy is it's often portrayed as this soft skill. But in a leadership context, it can be incredibly powerful. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, absolutely. A leader who lacks empathy, they might issue orders
Right.
without really considering how they affect their team.
Right.
They might prioritize logic and data without taking into account the human element.
Uh-huh.
But an empathetic leader considers the impact of their actions on others.
Okay.
They listen to their team's concerns,
Right.
and they create this culture of mutual respect. And in the long run,
Yeah,
that leads to a much more engaged and productive team.
absolutely. It's about leading with your head and your heart.
Exactly.
It reminds me of leaders like Jacinda Ardern, who is really known for her compassionate approach. Right.
She really embodies that balance of strength and empathy. Now, this deep dive is already giving me so much to think about,
Good.
but we've still got 2 more qualities to explore.
Okay. Let's do it.
The fourth one the article discusses is encouragement.
Okay.
It's about how it can unlock potential in others.
Great. So think of encouragement as like creating this positive
Okay?
and supportive environment where people feel safe to take risks,
Ah,
to learn and grow. It's about recognizing and celebrating the strengths of others,
yeah.
helping them build confidence. So instead of constantly pointing out flaws or micromanaging,
Right.
it's about fostering an environment where people feel valued
Yeah.
and empowered.
Makes sense.
And that can have such a ripple effect, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. If you're constantly being criticized or micromanaged,
Mhm.
it's going to create a culture of fear and anxiety
Yeah.
where people are hesitant to share ideas or take initiative.
Right.
But in a culture of encouragement,
Mhm.
you're going to see creativity,
Yeah.
innovation.
And engagement, because people know their contributions are appreciated
Absolutely.
and their growth is supported.
Yes.
The article even states that our commitment to encouragement creates a culture of positivity and growth.
I love that.
It's not just about individual empowerment.
Right.
It's about creating this collective environment where everyone can thrive.
I love that.
So we've talked about purpose, belief, empathy, and encouragement. We have one more to go, but I think we should pause here,
Okay.
and we'll pick it up in part 2.
Okay. I'm excited. Can't wait.
Okay.
See you there. Sounds good. It's like planting a seed and then nurturing its growth.
Oh,
When people feel encouraged and supported, they're more likely to blossom and reach their full potential.
mm.
And that kind of brings us to our fifth and final quality,
Okay.
thinking big.
I love that the audacity to dream big. The article really emphasizes that seeing those possibilities even when others don't, it's about challenging the status quo
Right.
and really pushing boundaries. Do you think that ties into belief in any way?
Absolutely. I think thinking big requires a certain level of belief,
Yeah.
both in yourself
Yeah.
and in the possibility of achieving something extraordinary.
Yeah.
It's about having that conviction that you can make a difference, that you can create something truly remarkable.
Right.
And it's about inspiring others to see that vision too.
Yeah.
When you think big, you open yourself up to these new ideas,
Mm-hmm.
new opportunities that others might miss.
It's like looking at the world through a different lens, one that sees potential where others see limitations.
Exactly.
The article puts it this way: your confidence and ambition will give you the vision to see potential where others don't.
But thinking big can feel so overwhelming.
Yeah.
Like, where do you even begin?
It's true that initial leap can be daunting, but it often starts with asking yourself these big, bold questions.
Okay.
What problem do you want to solve?
Okay.
What impact do you want to make on the world? What would a truly ideal future look like? And then it's about breaking down that big vision into smaller, actionable steps.
Okay.
It's about setting those audacious goals.
But also creating a roadmap for how you're going to get there.
That makes a lot of sense. It's about having that grand vision,
Right.
and also being strategic and intentional about how you'll bring it to life.
Yeah.
It reminds me of entrepreneurs like Elon Musk, who had this seemingly impossible dream of colonizing Mars.
Right.
But instead of letting the enormity of that task paralyze him,
Yeah.
he broke it down into smaller, achievable goals.
Right.
And ultimately created SpaceX.
Exactly. It's a
Excellent.
testament to the power of combining that bold vision with a clear plan of action.
Totally. And as we've been talking about these 5 qualities,
Yeah.
It's striking how they're not these isolated traits.
Uh-huh.
They work together, they amplify each other.
Absolutely.
It
They
just,
do. It's like they're pieces of a puzzle.
yeah,
When you put them all together, they create this beautiful picture of inspirational leadership.
I love that. So you start with that foundation of purpose,
Yeah.
and then you layer on belief in yourself and your vision.
Right.
Then empathy comes in, allowing you to connect with and understand the people around you. And then encouragement becomes the fuel that empowers and motivates those people to achieve their best.
And then finally, thinking big provides that overarching vision,
Right.
that sense of direction that guides everything you do.
It's really fascinating how these qualities are intertwined and reinforce one another. It's not about mastering one in isolation.
Right.
It's about weaving them together to create this tapestry of impactful leadership.
Right.
And what's really inspiring is that anyone can develop these qualities.
Absolutely.
Regardless of their background
Yes.
or position, it's a conscious choice.
Uh-huh.
It's a commitment to personal growth
It is.
and development.
It's amazing. You know, thinking about this makes me wonder, are there any common threads or patterns you've observed in the lives of inspirational women?
Yeah.
What sets them apart from those who just kind of go through the motions?
That's a really interesting question. What's fascinating is that it's not always about these grand gestures or extraordinary achievements.
Right.
It's often about the smaller, everyday choices that they make.
Uh,
It's about that consistent commitment to their values, to their purpose, even when they're faced with challenges or setbacks.
right. It's about walking the walk,
Yes.
not just
Yes.
talking the talk.
Exactly. And it's about that willingness to step outside of their comfort zones,
Yes.
to embrace discomfort and risk
Uh,
in pursuit of something greater than themselves.
it's so true.
That reminds me of another aspect of inspirational leadership.
Okay.
It's the idea of being a role model.
Oh, yeah.
It's about inspiring others,
Uh-huh.
not just through your words,
Right.
but through your actions.
Yes. And it's not about striving for perfection or presenting this flawless image.
Right.
It's about being authentic, being vulnerable,
Yeah.
and showing others that it's okay to make mistakes, to stumble,
Yeah.
and to get back up again.
Yeah.
It's about being human and relatable.
I love that the article talks about how these women have had an immeasurable impact on our lives. It's about that ripple effect that they create,
Right.
how their actions can spark positive change in the world. What's fascinating is they often don't set out to be role models.
Right.
They're just following their passions.
Ah.
They're living their truth.
Yeah.
And they're inspiring others along the way.
Exactly. And that's what makes them so relatable.
Right.
And their impact so profound.
Yeah.
It's not about seeking fame or recognition.
Yeah.
It's about making a genuine difference.
I'm curious, have you ever had an experience where someone's actions,
Yeah.
even seemingly small ones,
Uh-huh.
had a profound impact on your life
Yeah.
or the way you view the world?
You know, it's not always about those huge, grand, sweeping gestures.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's the quiet acts of courage, kindness, or resilience that leave the most lasting impressions. I remember a colleague
Okay.
who, despite facing some personal challenges, consistently showed up with this positive attitude and this willingness to help others. It was her resilience,
Yeah.
her ability to find joy even amidst difficulties,
Right.
that really inspired me to approach my own challenges with a different perspective.
That is a beautiful example of how even the smallest actions can create these ripples of inspiration. It's a reminder that we all have the power to impact those around us,
Absolutely.
simply by being our authentic selves
Yes.
and living our values.
So true. And it's about recognizing that inspiration can come from the most unexpected places.
Yeah.
You know, it could be a stranger you meet on the bus,
Right.
a book that you read,
Mhm.
or even a podcast episode.
Absolutely. It's about being open to receiving that inspiration,
Yes.
to seeing the world through a lens of possibility. But, sometimes the most impactful inspiration comes from challenging the status quo,
Right.
from those who dare to speak up for what they believe in,
Uh-huh.
even when it's difficult.
That's right. Truly inspirational figures, they often possess this certain boldness,
Yeah.
this willingness to stand up for what's right even when it's unpopular.
Right.
They understand that true leadership often requires courage
Yeah.
and conviction. They're willing to face opposition,
Right.
to endure criticism, and to keep pushing forward, even when it feels like this uphill battle.
It's about having that inner strength and resilience to stand firm in your beliefs.
Yes.
Even when the world seems to be pushing back.
Yes.
It's about using your voice, no matter how small, to advocate for what you believe in.
And it's about inspiring others to do the same.
Yes.
When we see someone courageously standing up for what's right,
Uh-huh.
it empowers us to find our own voices,
Right.
to speak our truth,
Yeah.
and to create positive change.
Yeah.
It reminds us that we don't have to be passive bystanders.
Right.
We can be active participants in shaping a better world.
It's about recognizing that each of us has a role to play in creating a more just and equitable society.
Absolutely.
And it's often those who challenge the status quo,
Yes.
those who dare to disrupt the norm, who ultimately pave the way for progress.
It's so true. And you know what's truly inspiring about a lot of these individuals
Yeah.
is that they don't view themselves as extraordinary or exceptional.
Right.
They see themselves as just ordinary people
Yeah.
who are simply doing what they believe is necessary.
That's such a powerful insight. It's a reminder that we don't need to be perfect
Right.
or have it all figured out to be inspirational.
Absolutely not.
It's about showing up authentically, being willing to learn and grow, and using our unique gifts and talents to make a positive impact.
Exactly. And it's about recognizing that we all have the potential to be inspirational,
Yes.
to make a difference, even in those seemingly small ways.
You know, this conversation has been incredibly enlightening. We've really delved into the 5 key qualities of inspirational women, explored how they intertwined, and considered the ripple effects of their actions.
It's been great. We talked about the importance of purpose, belief, empathy, encouragement, and thinking big. We've seen how these qualities empower individuals
Yeah.
and create this more positive and impactful world.
Right. And we've been reminded that each of us has the capacity to cultivate these qualities and become a source of inspiration for others.
Absolutely.
But before we wrap up this deep dive, I have one final question.
All right, I'm ready.
If you had to choose one quality
Yeah.
that you believe is most essential for inspirational leadership,
Okay.
which would it be
Okay.
and why?
Oh, that is a great question. It's like choosing a favorite child. You know,
Yeah.
all of these qualities are so important and play such a vital role.
Yeah.
But if I had to pick just one,
Uh-huh.
I would say it's purpose.
Okay.
Because when you have that clear sense of purpose,
Yeah.
it informs everything else you do.
Okay.
It's like a guiding star,
Uh-huh.
a driving force that fuels all of your actions and decisions.
That makes sense. It's like having that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's what makes their impact so profound.
Right.
You know, they're not seeking the spotlight. They're focused on the mission,
Right.
the goal,
Right.
the change that they want to create.
Yeah.
And that authenticity just shines through.
Yeah.
It's not about personal gain.
Right.
It's about something much bigger than themselves.
You know, as we wrap up this deep dive,
Yeah.
I'm really struck by how much we've covered.
Me too.
We've explored these 5 incredible qualities:
Right.
purpose, belief, empathy, encouragement, and thinking big.
Yeah.
We've discussed how they intertwine and how they can empower anyone to become a more inspirational leader.
Absolutely.
But I think the most important takeaway is that these qualities aren't reserved for a select few. They're
Right.
within reach for all of us.
They are.
Yeah.
We all have the potential to be inspirational, to make a positive impact on the world around us.
Totally.
You know, it starts with recognizing those qualities within ourselves
Uh-huh.
and then making a conscious effort to cultivate and strengthen them.
Yeah.
It's a journey of self-discovery and growth.
And it's a journey worth taking. You know, one thing that stood out to me from the article was this emphasis on encouragement.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a simple yet powerful act,
Right.
and it's something that we can all practice every single day.
What's interesting about encouragement is that it's not just about praising someone for their accomplishment.
Right.
It's about believing in their potential, even when they might not see it themselves.
Oh, wow.
It's about creating that safe space for growth,
Yeah.
where people feel supported and empowered to take risks and learn from their mistakes.
It's about fostering that growth mindset,
Yes.
that belief that we can always learn and improve.
Exactly.
And it's amazing how a simple word of encouragement can completely transform someone's outlook, you know,
Right.
give them that boost of confidence that they need to keep going.
Absolutely. And, you know, encouragement often has this ripple effect.
Oh, yeah.
When we encourage others,
Uh-huh.
they're more likely to pay it forward and encourage those around them.
Right?
And it creates this beautiful cycle of positivity
I love that.
and support.
The idea of a ripple effect. It speaks to the power that we each have to make a difference, even in small ways.
It does.
Now, as we leave our listeners with a final thought to ponder,
Okay.
what's one question you'd encourage them to ask themselves?
That's good. This raises a really important question. Now that you've explored all of these qualities, purpose, belief, empathy, encouragement, and thinking big, who comes to mind as an inspirational woman in your life?
Hmm.
And what is it about her that inspires you? What qualities does she embody that you admire?
That's a wonderful question to reflect on. Because by identifying those qualities in others, we can start to recognize them within ourselves.
Right?
We can see the potential we have to embody those same traits
Yeah.
and to become sources of inspiration for those around us.
And remember, inspiration is contagious. When we empower ourselves and others,
Yeah.
we create this ripple effect of positive change that can truly transform the world.
Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into the qualities of inspirational women. I hope you leave feeling empowered and inspired to cultivate these qualities within yourselves
Absolutely.
and to make a positive impact on the world.
It's been a pleasure exploring these ideas with you. And
Yeah.
remember,
Yeah.
even small acts of courage, kindness, and leadership can make a big difference.
Yeah.
Keep learning,
Yes.
keep growing, and
Yeah.
keep inspiring.
Until next time, keep diving deep and keep seeking out those sources of inspiration all around you.